Lavender's Blue is sort of a milestone piece in our study. It has 3 distinct challenges which all have to work well together in order to pull off the piece. There is a new rhythm called eighth notes, a 5th finger extension for the right hand that moves up a 6th, and all 3 chords are required to be played within the same piece: the C chord, the G7, and the F chords. Let's start with the 8th note rhythm. 8th notes move twice as fast as quarter notes. Take your left hand and tap it steadily, like this, on every beat. Now tap your right hand twice as fast. That's exactly what must happen for the 8th notes to take place. Now try it a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3. Turn off the video and work on this a few more times. Give yourself some time to get the feeling of that double time hand. Now, if you're back, see if you can hear where the 8th notes are in the rhythm. 1 and 2. I hope it was clear that every time you heard, those were the double time notes that we do call 8th notes. Let's take a closer look. Here are where the 8th notes are. Notice they are beamed together in pairs, connected by a little beam or line. They almost look like they're holding hands, and they double. So we would be thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and is the way that will look, or 1 and 2 and 3 and. If we count quarter notes using steady beats, we want to use the counts 1 and to show the doubling of the speed of the 8th notes. Something like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. And so we always subdivide 8th notes into 2 parts, 2 equal 1 beat. And we want to show both parts of that subdivision by saying 1 and or 2 and. And so we count something for every note. Notice how this new 8th note rhythm is used in every line of the piece. So we see here, there, and there. And we also want to be careful that we don't start the 8th note rhythm until beat 2. Like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. So you don't want to jump in too early on that rhythm. Here is the wrong way: 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Notice I put the 8th notes on beat 1, and so I jumped the gun. I came in way too early. Hold back and wait for beat 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Every time. Now, let's take a minute to look at the 5th finger extension in the right hand. Notice the top of the page and the little drill. Here the notes move from a C up a 5th to G and back down a 5th. The next measure starts from a C, goes up a 6th, and down to C. If you took time to count the lines and spaces, you would find 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there. And so together with the repeat, we want to play C, G, C, C, stretch up, A, C, first the 5th, and then reaching up. And you might take a minute to turn off the video so you can practice that a little bit more, a few times. Let's take a look at all those intervals now that we just studied, the fifth and the sixth. Notice up a fifth here, but this is up a sixth, up a fifth. This happens to be up a fourth interval, up a fifth, up a sixth, up a fifth, and once again up a fourth interval. If we combine the new intervals along with the eighth note rhythm, lines 1 and 2 will sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. Reach 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Up a fourth and so forth. The only different measures that are left to explore are at the ends of line 2 and 4. Let's look at those. On line 2, near the end, the notes read F, G, E, and D, which is a mixture of steps and skips. You'll notice the F, up a step, is G, down a skip, E, and down a step is the D here. But on line 4, the last four notes also start from F, but they simply go down by steps, using the fingers 4, 3, 2, 1. Try to play the right hand part 8 to 10 times a day, counting out loud to master the eighth note rhythm, and of course all the intervals as well. Now, let's look at the left hand and notice all the chords are dotted half notes, and they receive 3 counts each. You might want to drill the chords before you start. For example, the C chord, moving your thumb up for the F chord, playing 2 on F, keeping 5 the same, returning to the C chord, dropping to the G7, and back to C. This is called a cadence or a chord progression. It's a series of chords, and it's good when we go 1, 4, 1, 5, 7, 1. Or we would say C, F, C, G7, C. And you want to get really good on that chord progression so that you can cover all of the chords and be fluent. When you play the hands together, this is how the music will sound, including the melody notes in the right hand and the chords in the left. Listen, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1. 1 and 2 and 3 and reach up a 6. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2. Up a fourth with the G7 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. Reach up a sixth. 1 and 2 and 3 and 3 and 1 and 2. G7 up a fourth and down by steps. 2 and 3 and. Well, have fun playing Lavender's Blue. It will be a true accomplishment when you master the eighth note rhythm, the fifth finger extensions in the right hand, and all 3 chords in the left hand. Sounds like a lot, but you can do it.